Okay, this is, we're here with Mark Mclane from
The Greenhouse Company.
the Greenhouse Company, and we're here at Hygge Farms here in Hilliard, Florida on Knight Road. And there is a brand new greenhouse that we've created here. So Mark's going to talk to us a little bit about how this greenhouse works and a little about the maintenance of the greenhouse. So Mark, let's go ahead.
So the first thing is, as the greenhouse stage is on, when you first walk in, like on a day like today, it's quite cool outside, you'll see the two horizontal airflow fans inside the house which circulate the air in a circular pattern will be on. We've cut them off now just to cut back on some of the noise, but those will be on first. And they serve two purposes.
So Mark, let me ask you, do we have to manually turn those fans on, or will they come on all by themselves?
They run all the time until that evaporative cooler comes on. They're on constantly in the design side.
Okay.
So and that'll be the first thing.
And why are these fans on all the time? What's the purpose in that? How does that help the greenhouse?
Okay, twofold. One, it helps with your heat stratification. You get a more even temperature grade from top to bottom when these are on, because we set up a circular pattern in the house. The other benefit is it dries the air out in the greenhouse. Contrary to what a lot of people believe, a real moist greenhouse will breed disease and algae and everything else. So drying the air out is very beneficial for the plants as well. So that's twofold. They were primarily designed to keep the heat from stratifying. Before, you used to see these polytubes down in the house, and they would pump heat from the top to the bottom. Okay. And it actually cost more.
Okay. So stratification of the air, and then also you want to dry the air out. And how is that beneficial to the plants?
Botrytis is something very common in tomatoes. If the plants don't get a chance to dry out the root before you water them, if they're constantly wet, you'll see botrytis growing. That's a very common plant disease. Moving the air and having open benches under them helps that.
So for tomato plants, because we'll be looking to grow tomato plants and strawberries and raspberries and things like that. So
all beneficial. All
very beneficial. Okay, very good. And so Mark, tell us a little bit, the greenhouse company's been in business for how long?
Since 1978. We were called Jaderloon, and when the original owner died, his wife bought the company, and he calls it the Greenhouse Company, a division of Jaderloon. We're all the same people, same plant, same building, same machines.
Okay, and you're located up in South Carolina somewhere?
Columbia, South Carolina.
Columbia, all right. That's right. Go Gamecocks.
Yes.
There we go. My son.
Graduated.
My son's a recent graduate from up at that school.
Awesome.
So, very good.
That's cool.
All righty, let's go, and what do you want to talk about next? Show me.
All right, so I want to tell you how the stages come on so you'll know when you walk in what's going on. The first stage, the neutral stage is going to be the horizontal airflow fins that we were just discussing will be on. Okay. As it warms up, the first stage, and we have this system already set for temperature stages, and we have a auto off and on system, and this helps you problem solve. If you ever have any problems, you can cut something on. So
let's start over here. So tell me, what is this
that
device
is the main setting. All of the stages are set through this module for these independent ones, and it's a level down system. We have it set now for the heat to come on at 65. First stage of cooling will come on at 70. So to change that, I've got a booklet over there, and you have to change the stages incrementally. So there has to be a separation between each stage. So as it is right now, we have it set for the most common growing conditions that people have used from schools to universities over years. This seems to cover pretty much everything unless you've got a really specialized plant.
Okay, so how often do we need to come in here and make changes to this, or do we just...
Honestly, you should never, unless you've got some type of plant that's going to need a lot warmer or cooler in the winter.
Okay, so that is pretty much automatic, so it shouldn't really be messing with that too much. And then if we did have to make modifications, then what is the proper protocol to proceed? Should we call you? Is there a booklet?
For the first time, call us and ask for Jack Knowles. He's the one that designed and wired this, and he can easily walk the person that wants to change this through it to make sure it's not overlapping stages.
So generally speaking, though, that the people that are here on the ground running the greenhouse really should not be looking to make changes to this unless...
Lock box.
Make it a lockbox.
Yes.
There you go. So they should.
That's a common call we get. Someone will walk in here and start messing with this one and it throws the stages out.
Okay.
And we have opposing equipment like heaters and fans running at the same time.
Okay. So then
Very
you have,
common, so I would lock it.
go ahead and lock that. And is that easy to lock, I guess?
Yes.
Okay. Very good. You got some keys. All right. All right. We'll try to make sure that's locked. And so basically, don't touch the settings in this box once the greenhouse is ready to run. Okay. All right. So what's next? Let's go on to what.
So the flow of the greenhouse, how this controls is the fans are always on unless the heater is, unless the cooler is on. The first stage of cooling with the exhaust fans, it'll cut on this fan, will cut on the small shutter up top
Okay.
over the evaporator.
Hold on. I'm going to swing around here. So you're looking at the small shutter. This is the one with the louvers at top?
Yep, at the top.
Okay. All right. So, okay. All right. So
That will open on the first stage of cooling. And it will run until it satisfies the temperature that's set there. As it cools off, it'll shut off and go back into a neutral setting where these fans are running. If it got cold enough, the heater would come on in the stage as well without the fan.
okay. So that heater would then come on. So we are in the process of getting the gas delivered to turn that on. So
I checked it, it's sending a signal that cuts the exhaust fan on. So it should be good to go as soon as you get gas.
okay. Very good.
The second stage of cooling, the other fan will cut on, that shutter will close, and I'll show you outside in a minute. There is a vent that covers that area of the cooler. We call it a Versa vent. It'll open.
Okay.
So we're forcing more air through the system. As it warms up more, if it hasn't met the requirements for the temperature setting, the next thing will happen is the pump in the reservoir will come on and circulate water through the cooling pad. And that should drop it another 5 or 6, maybe 7 degrees, depending on the relative humidity outside.
So when it's 100 degrees outside, what happens?
Depends on the relative humidity. You may see, at this end of the house down there, you may see 80 degrees, where we don't have shake off, it may be 90, 95 degrees, depending.
Is that harmful for the plants to be
Depends on what they are. With tomatoes and things like that, that's fine.
vegetables? Mostly vegetables in here.
Yeah, it depends on what it is. Lettuce likes it a little cooler and a little darker. You could put the lettuce down there
Okay.
to work better. So as things cool
So
off,
the lettuce plant should be down where the shade is.
yes.
Okay. And then what about raspberries and blueberries? Is this a
They
good
typically
setting?
like full sun. I would try them down here first.
So is this a good setting to grow those in?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right. You've seen that happen before, I guess.
Oh yeah. Anytime.
Okay. All right.
Yep. So with the stages, they'll shut down in the opposite order. And it's fully automatic once we put everything on the auto mode. It's going to run year round without any changes.
Okay. So what kind of maintenance or
Okay.
things we should be on the lookout for?
So I will show you this. I've shown you guys here. We've done away with one of the maintenance issues, which used to be the belts and the fans.
Okay. So I
We
just,
now have an automatic belt tightener on this mechanism here, so it keeps perfect tension on belts.
so what's the mechanism that tightens it?
This hinge and the weight of the motor
Ah, okay. Gotcha.
works wonders. It keeps perfect tension on it. So there's really no maintenance other than, a few years, just keep your eye on the belts. When they start fraying, it'll be time to change them.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. All right. What's next, Mark?
Let's go outside. If you don't mind, I'm gonna cut this on so
Sure.
the vent will open up.
All right. Here we go. Okay. Those vents just came on. So only one comes on, or both? Should both of these?
Excuse me, that's the first stage. That's the first stage. As it warms up, the second one.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. All right. All right. Let's go on out and